This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection. Hey everyone, this is Letty for the Smash and Skull Sessions. I'm joined by Ray, Liam and Blair from Circus. Guys, how you doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Fantastic.
Excellent to hear. We've had some technical issues, but we're finally here. We're finally talking across the pond.
Yes.
Not too
Technology.
bad. It's great, isn't it? The power of the internet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's lovely, yeah.
So, to our listeners who maybe haven't heard of you before, could you all introduce yourself and your role in the band?
I am Ray. I play drums for Circus.
I'm Liam. I play guitar for Circus.
I'm Blair, and I scream into a microphone.
Yeah.
And then,
Excellent.
And then we have Dan, who plays bass, who's not with us today.
He's here in spirit.
That's right, yes.
Excellent. So, how did the band start?
So it started about 2 years ago. So I'm still I'm a senior in high school, and it originally was just high schoolers messing around, and then a bunch of lineup changes because the other members in the band are involved in other groups, and like people going to like having stuff going on like with planning for college and stuff. So things splintered, a lot of people left, and then other people joined. I met Ray at a show, and he was talking about wanting to start a band, and I just had like some people leave my band. I'm like, you want to jam sometime? And that's how this iteration of Circus started.
It's kind of there's a lot of complications in a way. We started off it was just me, Liam, and another individual who we separated them from the band because of I don't know, differences in how we wanted to perform and sound.
Yeah.
So then I recruited Blair, and well, it started off with I was more so complaining to Blair because me and Blair are good friends, and I was like, we need a new vocalist, blah blah blah. And then Blair was like, I'll be your vocalist. And I was like, wait, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, hell yeah then. So we got Blair, and then Dan is a good friend of mine too. So I was like, hey Dan, do you want to play bass for us? And I didn't think he was gonna want to because he already plays in a band and he's going to college. But he was like, yeah, I'm down. And I was like, okay, I guess we have a full lineup now. And yeah.
You're just
That's
like
it.
collecting like Pokemon band members.
Yeah. It worked out a lot better than I thought it would. But
Hey, no, that's pretty cool. And Blair, like, when did you join the band? Kind of what year?
This was last year at some point. I don't remember exactly what month. Was it winter?
Oh no, it was November because we played our first show with you in like November 3rd, I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, something like November. That.
So sometime.
Yeah, sure, November. Let's go with that.
Exactly.
November of last year.
And is this your first band that you've been in, or?
Oh no, I've been in bands for a very long time now. Ever since I like got out of high school, I've been in bands. So like around 2014, I've been in a bunch of different bands. So
you're full-time vocalist.
And I know Ray. What? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're full-time vocalist, part-time young adult.
Yeah, sure. Something like that. Mostly a full-time bassist. Vocals is like a side gig that I do from time to time.
Awesome. And you've released your debut EP, Circus. How was the recording process for it?
It was completely DIY.
Yeah.
It was kind of hectic. I don't normally engineer live drums. This was the first time I ever did it, but I have a lot of knowledge from my brother and from good friends of mine. So I executed that knowledge to the best of my ability, and it worked out pretty well. And then so we did everything ourselves except for the mixing and mastering. Our fellow um, musical friend, Dustin Wright, who is an excellent mixing engineer and mastering engineer, he mixed it and mastered it for us, and he knew the vision we were going for, and he did a really good job with it. But I mean, we track drums in a library.
Yeah, our local library. There's a lot of shows there, a lot of experimental shows, and I mean, we're both well acquainted with William, who runs all those things, and I was like, we need a space to record drums. We don't really want to, spend money. We just want to do it ourselves. And the library turned out to be an amazing spot. The room itself has amazing acoustics. Like the room reverb in there is amazing. Like we mic'd up the floor.
Yeah, yeah. We set up a few room mics,
and then Ray had to track drums for the entire EP in one night.
Yeah,
brutal. Immediately busted his thumb open on the kit, got blood on it.
Yeah, I got blood on the floor in the library and stuff. I feel really bad about it. But we built a little makeshift vocal booth in my closet, and I had Blair come to my house for 2 days, and we drank beer and tracked vocals, and it was a good time. And we tracked the guitar in a spare bedroom in my house. We did it with a real amp and everything, and it was a pain in the ass, but we got through it. So
and I'm just going back to the bit you tracked in a library, and it's also a venue. Is it like a fully functioning library, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's more of a library than a venue, but they will sometimes they'll host shows there and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
that's got to be the coolest venue I have ever heard of. A library hosting shows. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've lived in this town for like majority of my life, and I've always been into like heavy music, and I've only been involved in the scene up here for 2 years, and it's honestly like been 2 or 3 years since it's picked up again, because I never would have thought. We're like kind of in the middle of nowhere. We do have 2 colleges here, but still there wasn't a lot of stuff going on, especially with experimental and heavy music. But we've seen such a resurgence. Like we have shows every month at the SC Art Center in Potsdam, and then there's shows at the library. Sometimes in the basement of a bar, they put on shows. But it's just insane to see the bands that come through here and the amount of bands we have in Potsdam.
That's pretty cool. Is it a good scene in Potsdam? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't it. I'm a bit older than Liam by like 10 years. So back when I was about Liam's age, I was playing in bands around here, and it wasn't quite as fruitful as it seems to be now. I think post-COVID kind of brought people together more, and people want to go out and experience things again. So that's why our local scene currently is going so strong.
Yeah, so many people show up because there's nothing else to do here.
Would you agree, Blair?
Sure. I don't live around those guys. I live about 5 hours south of them. But yeah, every time I go there for a show, it's always a good time. A bunch of people show up. It's really cool.
So what would your kind of local scene be? What kind of area?
Yeah. My local scene is usually around like Rochester, New York. That's where like in my other bands, that's where we usually play. I live in a town called Geneva, and the scene around here is not at all anything. It's all like jam bands and jazz bands and cover bands. No one like really books metal bands for for any shows or anything. So I always have to travel like an hour plus to to play a show anywhere.
That's a shame, but at least you're
It
getting a
is.
scene somewhere and like are part of like some really cool bands.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And do you have a favorite memory from recording the EP? You can all give an answer each.
Um, my favorite memory, definitely not the drums. Recording the
Nah.
drums was, I killed myself that night, and then I had to work the day after, and I was just tore up from it. But that's not the point. Probably the funnest part I think was recording Blair, because it was just a good time. Like we had a lot of fun with it. We were drinking, smoking, and it was we were being goofy at points, and I don't know. It was just fun. I enjoyed that aspect of it.
For me, I honestly really enjoyed recording drums because I wasn't drumming. I just sat there and pressed the button. Well, it was just I don't know, because it was nighttime because the library had to be closed and we were like the only ones there, and just the drums sounded amazing in there. I don't know. I as a guitarist, I really love drums. Uh, I don't know. I feel like they're the heart of a lot of music.
I mean, it is the timekeeper, so I play drums as well, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
And Blair?
Uh, yeah, I was only part of one part of the recording process, which was doing vocals. So like my favorite part was probably like actually finally putting the words that I had in my head like into the song, I guess. And having Ray give me like suggestions about what I could do differently, like different noises I can make to sound a little better, and suggesting different things. That's probably my favorite part. I love recording vocals. It's so much fun.
The EP sounds really, really good, guys, anyway, so like,
Thank
well
you.
done.
Really appreciate it.
Thank
You
you.
We
know,
we
all
were
the all the
sorry.
effort that you did, Ray, on like, killing yourself on the drums and all that were all paid
Yeah.
off.
It was one of those things too where um about halfway through it I was like, man, I don't know how this is gonna sound. I feel really down on myself about it. But once once we finished everything and we started looking deeper into it and editing stuff and getting stuff mixed and mastered, and gave myself a break because I get ear fatigue really badly when I'm working on production and stuff. And then when I came back and listened to it more, I was like, actually, this sounds really good, and I'm actually really proud of how it turned out. So yeah, it turned out really good in my opinion.
And did you mix and master it yourself or send it away?
I did not. Dustin Wright mixed and mastered it. He's an excellent musician, and he really knows the ins and outs of his digital audio workstation, which is Reaper, and he has a really good grasp on like compression and equalization. So he mixed and mastered it for us.
But you were there, like you were doing something.
Yeah, I was there with him the whole time, and he knew what vision we were trying to go for, so, and he executed it like perfectly in my opinion. So he is a
Awesome.
big part of why it sounds the way it sounds. Definitely.
Shout
For
out
sure.
Dustin.
Yes,
Yes.
for real. Shout out Dustin.
And you can all give an answer for this one again, and it doesn't have to be for Worm Circus. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Michael Gira from Swans. Swans is my all-time favorite band. I don't know what I would do. Swans by far, like my favorite band of all time. Everything.
That's one of
Michael
the
Gira
quickest
does.
answers I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
That was quick. I don't even.
Well, Michael Gira is like my favorite musician ever. I'm going to see Swans in October. I'm so excited.
You've only got like what, another 4 months?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For me, wow, that is a really hard question. I okay, if I could collaborate with any musician and in my the current phase I'm in right now, I would want to collaborate with some of the guys from Shame or Ditz. I'm really into post-punk right now and like crank wave. So that's like my current obsession. And I really want to start writing stuff in that style, but I have a lot of trouble trying to. So I think I would really enjoy doing something like that.
I feel like with some of the new stuff we're writing right now, it's getting a bit more angular and noise rocky in that
Yeah.
in that sense. I mean,
Oh,
one of Ray and I's a huge influence is Chat Pile.
Chat pile, shout
That's,
out
that's
chat pile.
yeah, no, they're amazing.
there's an excellent noise metal band called Meth. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're
Oh
quite
my
good.
gosh, Meth's great. I'm actually they just dropped off a tour with Dragged into Sunlight,
They
which
did, yeah.
that whole situation was stupid because Dragged into Sunlight had a problem with Prosthetic Records. Anyways, I'm probably going to see Dragged into Sunlight with my friend in this June, but I'm sad that Meth dropped off.
They've hopped on another tour though. They announced it today. They're on a different European tour now. So,
Sweet.
and I got to interview Seb.
That's awesome.
Nice.
He was lovely. And Blair, any musicians dead or alive you'd want to collaborate with?
Yeah, I'd probably want to collaborate with Kalle Tomer. I think that's how you say his name. He's from a band called Vildiarta, and they're like probably one of my favorite bands. So unique in the style of metal that they play. They always seem to be like 10 years ahead of their time whenever they release something. And they're just so weird and like he's such a weird guitarist and like so unique. I would love to just like be able to pick his brain and like figure out at least a little bit like how it works, you know. Yeah.
Bring Me the Horizon have been coined as being like 10 years ahead of the curve. So I'll have to check them out as well.
Yeah, Bring
Oh,
Me
for sure.
Horizon is now playing well, actually, I can't actually say this because I don't listen to Bring Me the Horizon, but just knowing the modern metal sound right now is a lot of the metalcore bands are playing stuff similar to what they did on Mastodon in what was it, like 2011 or no? I don't know. When did
Yeah.
Mastodon come out?
2011.
The
Yeah.
first Bill Jarrett album. Uh,
Yeah, 2011. You're right.
okay.
Cool. Another band
For
I'll have
sure.
to check out. Awesome. And how did you come up with the name Worm Circus?
Oh my gosh. It was I don't mean I it was one of my friends in the band that got it from another friend, and it was literally just her talking about how like when she was little she would like play with worms and like in like a circus manner. I don't know, something like that. We just thought it sounded cool, so we went with it.
You were
We kind of we built like a meaning behind it though, as in like um if you look at the world and
Yeah,
society and everyone going to work and
yeah,
doing their routine, it's almost like a circus
yeah,
of worms in a
yeah.
way. Kind of like that, I guess.
That's a lot deeper than what I had thought. I was like, oh, maybe it's after the meme of like, oh, will you love me if I'm a worm or something
Oh
like
no.
that.
Oh yes, it
That
can
name
mean
might predate that meme. I'm not sure.
it can mean whatever you want it to mean.
That's true. It's up for interpretation. We don't we're not we're not sticklers about it, so
That's my very was it very thin interpretation of it then anyway.
That's a
yes.
great interpretation.
We like that.
You can all give an answer each for this as well. Do you have any favorite album releases of 2025 so far, or any that you're looking forward to?
Oh,
Yes,
2025 is like I thought 2024 was a great year for music already. 2025 is looking amazing. Um, so far, the stuff I've enjoyed the most, the new Deaf Heaven album is great. Lonely People with Power. There's this Chilean hardcore split, but I don't Canoe de Bon and Cochlea, no Esperon por Nadi. I probably butchered that. It's like noisy, a little bit of Scrams influence, and like a lot of like Slint influence, like with Spiderland, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. And to see those all combined into the split is amazing. That album's great, and I'm looking forward for the new Swans album. It's the last big sound Swans album, so I'm beyond excited.
I'd go with Never Exhale. The new Ditz album is amazing and it has changed my life. And I love you, Ditz, if you ever watch this.
Ditz and Worm Circus collaboration. Fingers crossed.
Oh my God.
Let's go. I haven't really heard anything this year yet that I'm like really that into. I've heard a lot of singles that have been released that are going to turn into albums this year. Like Static Dress just dropped a single, and I think that they're gonna release an album this year, and it's gonna be sick for sure. Viljarta is gonna release an album this year. That'll be sick.
Yeah, the new Viljarta album's coming out the same time as Birthing by Swans. So I'm
Let's
excited.
go. It's a great day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to check
That's what
out
I'm
the
looking
Static
forward
Dress
to.
single. I saw it in my YouTube recommended just before the meeting started, and I was like, I saw them open for Bring Me the Horizon. Have to check them out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
Static
amazing.
Dress. Yeah, they're one of my favorites. They're amazing.
Are they American or UK? I can't remember.
UK.
UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just remember, was it Ollie Sykes brought him on and was like, this is a young Ollie.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
I have
sure.
to check out more of them. And we're on to our last question. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start a band in 2025?
Yes. Just do it. Don't overthink. Don't overthink it. Just do it and have fun and see what happens. If it turns out to not be your thing, then so be it, and you can move on with your life. But if you ever have an itch, find some friends and just try to play some music together and see where it goes. That'd be my advice.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Just do what do what you want. I don't try to. I mean, try and copy someone if you want to, but uh, try to do what you think sounds cool. Don't listen to what anyone else thinks. I feel like all art should be about the artist and what the artist wants. And if people don't like it, people don't like it. But if you put time and passion into it, there's definitely going to be some people that resonate with it.
I've just seen a lot of these, I don't know, I guess you call them TikTok artists, of like them
Oh,
like picking one comment and being like, is this the new My Chemical Romance? Or I just wrote the emo banger of the summer or
Oh
something like
yeah.
that.
yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to go that route, go for it. And Blair, do you have anything
I'm
else to
about to
add?
go that route. No, I don't. No, I don't. Just have fun with it. Just have fun making music. It's it can be laborious and annoying when you're just doing it to make money or for reasons like that. So just have fun. Play an
Li-
instrument, have fun.
Life's too short to not have be fun.
Exactly.
Exactly. For sure.
100%. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to me.
Of course.
Absolutely,
It was
yeah.
a pleasure.
Yes, it was a very big pleasure. We really appreciate you doing this with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No worries at all. And Worm Circus is out now.
Yes,
Yes.
everywhere.
Go listen to it.